Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we would be seeing on how we can create external tables in Snowflake. Like let's assume we have a data in our S3 buckets, and if you want to create a table out of those, then let's see how we can achieve that in Snowflake. Okay. So as per this diagram, if you see, we have the data in S3 and that data can be connected in a Snowflake, and we can query the tables from Snowflake with the data which is residing in S3. Okay, so now how do we do that? So for that there are two concepts called integration and stage. So in Snowflake, first we have to create an external integration and then we have to create the stage. So I'll show you what is external integration and what is the stage. Integration is nothing but the connecting AWS and Snowflake, and the stage is nothing but the place where we have the files. So first we have to create an integration, then we have to create the stage. Stage is nothing but the place where we have the data or the files, whatever. So now let's do it. So if you see that, let's follow the documentation itself. So what they say, first they ask to create IAM policy, and then after creating the policy, assign that policy to a role is what they say. So now let's go and do that first. So I came to IAM and I'm going to policies. I'm clicking on create policy and I'm selecting the JSON format here. And now for this policy, I'll just copy paste whatever I have in the documentation. If you see here, I have the JSON in the documentation, right? So I'm just copying this particular stuff here, and I'm creating this policy. But if you see the bucket name prefix alone, I'll be editing it. So I'll go to my own bucket. So I came to S3 and I'm just copying my own bucket here. That's it. Now again I'm going to policy and I'm just editing that particular stuff here. That's it. That's it. So I just copied this particular JSON from the Snowflake documentation and I've just edited for my bucket. So I'm creating a policy or the permissions of list bucket and get bucket location in this path. That's it. So I'm just clicking on next and I'm creating the policy YouTube Snowflake 2025. That's it. YouTube Snowflake 2025, and I'm creating the policy. So now we are done with the policy, right? So now we have to go to the roles and create a role and assign that policy to this particular role. That's it. So AWS account, for another account, for time being I'll just give this particular account only. That's it. I gave this particular account ID. Require external ID. Yes, there are two options. One is multi-factor authentication and another is external ID. Yes, we need an external ID. For timing I just kept 0000. That's it. And I just clicked on next, and here I just clicked on next. Here I'm just giving the role name. So this trust policy I leave as it is, and I'm just creating the role. That's it. Sorry, we forgot to assign the policy. So now attach policies. We have to do it before only, but I forgot. So let me type YouTube Snowflake 2025. This policy we have to attach, right? So we forgot to attach this permission, and without adding any permission we have come. So that's it. So now we have added this particular policy to this particular role. That's it. So this policy has been attached. So we are done. And now if we go to the documentation, once both are done, they are asking to create the integration. Okay. So now they're asking to create integration, right? So now we'll go to this, copy this, and now we'll go here and we'll create this. So I have pasted this integration here. That's it. And I have to give the role ARN. So now if I go to this particular role, I can get the ARN here. So I just copied that role ARN. That's it. And I am pasting that here. That's it. And in case, like if you want to allow some and not allow or block some, we can do that. But right now I'll allow everything in that path. So that's it. Now I am creating integration S3 int YouTube 2025. That's it. Now I'm creating an integration. That's it. So now once we are done with the integration, now if you go to the documentation, what are they saying? They are asking to describe the integration, right? So now we can describe this integration again. Now if we describe the integration, why we need to describe, I'll tell you. If we describe the integration, sorry, we got the two important parameters called user ARN and external ID. These two we have to copy paste in the trust policies. That's what they have mentioned in the documentation. So take these two, user ARN and external ID, and paste them in the trust policies. That's it. So if you see inside the trust policy tab, edit trust policy and copy paste. This is what's saying. So I'm just copying this, and again I'm going here, trust relationship, edit trust policy, I'm just doing Control A and Control V, and I have to replace, my Snowflake ARN as well as the external ID here, which we got when we have described this integration, right? Describe integration. So I'll just copy this user ARN, that's it, and I'll come here and I'll paste this here, that's it, and again I'll copy this particular external ID and I'll paste it here, that's it. Now I'm just updating the same policy, that's it. So now we have created the integration now between AWS and Snowflake. That part is done. So now the next part is to create the stage. So now if you see, the next part is to create the stage. So we can just copy paste here, copy this one and then paste this particular one, that's it. And what is the, while creating the stage is nothing but the place where we have, right? Like in the real time, stage is nothing but the place we get the performance. Here as we are dealing the data, stage is nothing but the place where we have the data. So now we'll just copy this S3 bucket, that's it. And S3, what is the integration which we have created? This one, that's it. Now we can create the stage, my stage YouTube 2025 we have created, that's it. So now we can even create the stage. So now let's go to the documentation. Once you are done with the stage, you can use that and create the external table. That's what they have mentioned here, right? We can just create the external table. Okay, so that's it. So I'm just creating an external table here, CPR to, I'll just add it as YouTube, that's it. ID, name, city, job, with location. What is the stage we have to mention? This is my stage, right? So at the rate that stage and customer, because if we go to our S3 path, inside the data we have customer, and inside which we have the cus.csv file. It's a CSV file. So this is the data which I have uploaded over there. 4 rows we have with the header. So that's why if you see here my table, I'm just mapping this each columns, okay, with the specific column names. I'm saying skip header and it's a type CSV and the stage we have given. So if you observe, first we have created the integration, and while creating the stage we are using that integration, and now we have the stage and you are using that particular stage as a path for our external table. So now if I do this, I've created the table. So now I can just query this particular table, that's it. See, we are able to fetch the data, that's it, this particular data, that's it. So now we can do one more thing. If you look at the documentation, they have said, so it's an external table. So whenever the data gets updated, the Snowflake should also refresh that, right? To handle this refresh, we can create an SNS queue. So now if we go to this particular bucket and go to properties, that's it. So if you go to this particular bucket and go to properties, here under event notification, I have created this previously. If you want, you can just click on this event notification, event name, prefix, what kind of when should it, like for what kind of events it has to trigger. So I said SQS queue, and if you have the queue already, you can mention, or else enter SQS queue and queue ARN. So this ARN we will be getting from Snowflake. So to get that particular ARN, we have to just do show external tables, that's it. So now when you query this, we got the external tables, right, in this database or in this schema. So this particular notification, this particular value, we can just copy and paste in our create notification, and that's how I have done. So whenever any update or any upload or any delete or anything has happened as per that event types which you have configured in this SQS, the notification will be sent to Snowflake and Snowflake will refresh. Or else if you want to manually refresh once in a while, then you can do this particular command, alter external table name refresh. It will manually refresh. So once the data gets updated in S3, it gets reflected in Snowflake. That's it. This is how we create external tables in Snowflake. And also, as we know, external tables are just read-only tables. We can't update or anything because they doesn't reside on a Snowflake. And the next topic will be on iceberg tables in Snowflake. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.